What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Anthony Joshua. Now, Anthony Joshua was seen with crutches. He was seen out in public with crutches, and according to Mike Coppinger, he injured his knee or leg during running while he was training. So is there anything to it? Reports also say that it's going to cost him 4 to 6 weeks to begin training. Well, is that a threat to the mandatory? Because I remember Pulev, he was injured and he pulled out of the fight. But do you think Anthony Joshua can do the same thing? That's the question. Injuries are inevitable with training, okay? They're going to happen. You know, he did it running or whatnot. He might have tripped and fell. Again, we don't know the details. We just saw him wearing the cast. So the thing is, how much of a hold does it put on the fight? Or if it does at all? You know, that's the main thing. I've never seen Anthony Joshua injured physically, okay, with any kind of broken bones or strain. Now, they say the ligaments weren't torn, so that's not a bad thing. I think this is really just a precaution. If I was just going to take that picture for cash value, me just looking at that picture, you know, he was in a restraint, okay? And I feel that Anthony Joshua, you know, will commence training as soon as he can. But it's one of those things that make you wonder if this will have any effect on the fight at hand. Does this give Pulev any type of fuel or any type of motivation, right? Because Anthony Joshua, hey, we don't know the extent. Because one thing we know about Anthony Joshua, if something was wrong, you wouldn't hardly hear about it. But that's the problem, people. You normally don't hear about anything that Anthony Joshua has going on. So whatever he did to his leg, it had to construct, or should I say, affect his walking ability. You know what I mean? He just wasn't on crutches. He was on crutches, and then he had that leg support, okay? He had a brace on. So that shows you, like, I don't know if it's just to stabilize it, or is he, you know, because what we know about Team Joshua, they don't let too much out of the bag. So he was probably asked if he had ligaments torn or whatnot. He said no. But what if he does? Because had he had torn ligaments, would you have heard anything? I've known people that have done the same thing, and they've been worse off with a brace like that. Because for what I could see, that brace came from his thigh all the way down to his ankle. Okay, so you need to, for something that big, or for a brace that big, something had to happen on a serious note, not just a damn KT tape injury, because that's the way he's going off it. He just needs time to heal or whatever. But you know, what is exactly going on with him? So it's a lot of stuff in the dark about Anthony Joshua's injury, you know, or him hurting himself. But again, a big guy like that wouldn't be on crutches and wouldn't be with a brace that big if it was something mediocre. That's what I honestly feel. I think that Team Joshua, they're good at downplaying things when it's really serious, just so they won't bring attention to themselves, because a lot of fighters like to do that. And a lot of fighters, I feel, like to do that because they're looking for a built-in excuse if they lose. They have that ace in the hole. Well, you know, I was injured before the fight. Other fighters have done that, okay? So it just makes me really worried that Anthony Joshua would go out, because I remember blasting Tyson Fury when he went out limping. Remember, he had a limp in his leg, and I blasted him. Well, Anthony Joshua, no exception, because it's like, okay, I know why he went out. But the thing is, you know, what kind of impact or what kind of response did he expect to get from that? You know what I mean? Dude, you're the unified heavyweight champion of the world, and you're on crutches, going into supposedly training for a mandatory of a once beaten Pulev. So I don't know. It doesn't look like terrible, but it doesn't look good either. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Anthony Joshua in braces. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunching. Peace.